How do you write a chorus melody that is guaranteed to get stuck in people's heads? The answer coming up, but first, tea. Ray Harmon here, and welcome to the worldwide hack music theory revolution, where we empower you with notation-free theory for making great music. On that note, we love connecting with all you revolutionary music makers out there using our theory hacks, so drop a comment below and let us know where you're based and what kind of music you make. And by the way, the example I'm going to use in this video is actually the chorus of my brand new single, Age of Rising, which is out today. Age of Rising features the huge voice of Jesse Junk, and you can stream or download it for free at the link below. Also, big shout out to local songwriter Triple L for introducing Jesse to me. Alright, let's get to it because I'm super pumped to reveal my 4 powerful hacks for turning chorus melodies into unforgettable earworms.
Song, Age of Rising. Section, chorus. Tempo, 106 BPM. Time signature, 4/4. Mode, E Dorian. Chords, E minor, D major, B minor, A major.
Hack 1. Thirds. A great place to start writing a super catchy chorus melody is with threes. Why? Well, the third is the note that injects the emotion into chords. So in other words, the third note of a minor chord is exactly what makes it sad, and the third note of a major chord is exactly what makes it happy. And an emotional melody is a captivating melody. So this is a great place to start for our chorus melody. Alright, here we go. So down here we've got the muted root notes of the chords in our progression. They're going to act as a template over which we're going to write our melody. So we got E minor, D major, B minor, and A major. Now the first thing you want to do is decide how much happy you want in your melody and how much sad you want. Once you've decided that, you'll know which chords you want to sing or play the third over. I've got 2 minor chords and 2 major chords in this progression, so it's completely balanced, 50% sad and 50% happy. However, I want the melody to be uplifting and positive, so in order to make it sound and feel like that, I need to play the third note of both of the major chords, but only one of the minor chords. So that way the happy outweighs the sad. So let's start with the root minor chord, which is E minor. So we definitely want to play the third note of that to establish the mode that we're in. So the third note of E minor is G. So we're going to draw that in. And then the third note of D major is F sharp. We're going to draw that in. We're going to leave the B minor because we don't want to emphasize the sadness of that. And then we're going to play the third note of A major, which is C sharp. So we're going to draw that in. All right, let's have a listen to our thirds. Hack 2, links. So these thirds sound powerful and emotional, but they sound boring. You can't just play the third note of one chord into the third note of the next chord and call it a melody. No, we want better than that. So what we're going to do is shorten these thirds, and in between them we're going to create these melodic links that are going to bring this melody to life. Alright, so let's carve out some space in between the G and the F sharp by shortening those notes so we can put a link in between. Now we're going to have some fun putting totally fresh notes into our melody, and because I really want to emphasize that F sharp, which is a happy major third, I think it's going to sound awesome to drop right down after the G and rise up like the song title Age of Rising. We're going to go from the B up to the D and then up to the E, and then eventually we rise up to that major third. So because we've made the listener wait for it, they've had to work through, climb up that ladder of notes to get to that major third. It's going to sound so uplifting when it finally hits. Check this out. Hack 3, motifs. A motif is a short musical idea, and by reusing it, we guarantee that our melody becomes an earworm. But in order to reuse a motif, we obviously need to find one first. This is what I call motif hunting, and at this stage of the melody writing process, we've got more than enough notes to go motif hunting, so let's do it. The song title is Age of Rising, and we've already turned that rising lyrical motif into a melodic motif in the link that we've just written. So all we need to do now is reuse that rising melodic motif to link the F sharp and the C sharp. Now, instead of just copying and pasting the motif with all the same notes, which firstly is boring, and secondly, it doesn't even work because we rise up to the E and then we drop to the C sharp. So instead of doing that, what we're going to do is drop the whole motif down to F sharp. So we're going to go F sharp, A, B, and then we're going to rise up to that happy major third, that C sharp. And obviously we've just got a little overlap with the notes here, so we're just going to shorten this one, which also gives us a slightly different rhythm, which is really lovely. So when you reuse a motif, just give it a little bit of a new flavor. So it's exactly the same concept, but just in a slightly different context with a little bit of a fresh approach. And whenever you're at the stage of the melody writing process, always remember that singers and melodies in general need to breathe. So even if you're not planning on singing this melody, you still want the melody to have phrasing. So we're going to have a breath here after that F sharp, and then we're going to do the same thing here after the C sharp. All right, let's have a listen to our rising motif in action. Hack 4, variations. So if we just take this melody and loop it up 4 times, is that good enough to call a chorus? No, of course it's not. It's gonna get boring. No matter how good your melody is, if you just repeat it over and over and over, the listeners are gonna get sick of it. Think of it like chocolate. Even the best chocolate in the world, you get sick of it, right? If you eat too much. So we need variation to keep things fresh. Creating captivating variations is an art all on its own because it's vital to find the balance. Too much variation and you essentially end up with a new melody, and too little variation and you're back to square one with the same problem of too much repetition. The best way to discover where your melody needs variation is to listen to it, and at the exact moment where it just loses its thrill, that's where you need variation. So check this out. I'm still thrilled. Right there, that is the moment right here where the thrill disappears, because we're expecting that C sharp, we get that C sharp, and it's just, there's no dopamine hit. We need something new right there. So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go, instead of to the C sharp, we're gonna drop down to the root of A major. So we're going to go to the A, and then just to spice things up even more, because whenever you create variation, it can be melodic or rhythmic or both, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to shorten the note before, that B, we're just going to shorten that, and we're going to actually get to what the listener was expecting to be the C sharp, and we're giving them the A. Not only are we changing the note, we're going earlier. So it's going to be, whoa, it's going to be a surprise because it hits them earlier than they were expecting, and it's a different note than they were expecting. So now we've got some serious business. Check this out. That is the thrilling business right there of variations. Okay, so we're going to listen all the way through again, and we're going to discover that it's exactly the same thing. At the end here, we need something fresh. So this is where our second variation is going to come in. And this variation is what's going to end our chorus. So this needs to be on a whole nother level, because not only does it need to be a variation from the original melody, but it also needs to be a variation from the variation, and it needs to be the climax of our whole chorus. So let's start by deleting that, because that just ain't gonna be good enough, and then we're gonna copy and paste the first variation over. Then we're gonna throw it up an octave to get into that climax range, and then what we're gonna do is extend the highest note. So we're gonna make that longer, and then we're just gonna move the last note over a bit, and now we have an epic climax to an epic chorus. And we're done. And just a quick note before I play the final version, if you don't want to miss out a new video every week, then subscribe below and hit the bell to get notifications. And if you want to learn more, please check out our notation-free theory books and PDFs at revolutionharmony.com/books.